The Cleveland Browns, their sole purpose in the NFL is to be the franchise where we send guys to punish them. I don't know what Myles Garrett did.
Odell.
I don't know what Myles Garrett did to them to be drafted there, but that's cool. But they sent Amari Cooper there to get punished. That's like they Siberia. They sent Odell there to get punished. Now they got Shador Sanders over there in the gulag.
You want to be a prima donna? Okay, I'm gonna show you a prima donna. Go to Cleveland.
Prima donnas can exist. I'll see you to a place where the sun don't shine. That's Cleveland. I don't know, bro.
Bro, you know it's crazy.
They just bad, bro. They bad.
I had an internship in Cleveland, and like I say, I always say this: the people are amazing.
They don't deserve this. Nobody deserves
They
this.
They don't, bro. Cleveland love them some Browns. Do you think, DT? Do you think Dante Moore has a chance to win the Heisman? Or is it still in Carson Beck's favor?
It's still in Carson Beck's favor just because Carson Beck's quarterback are like the number 1, number 2 team in the country right now. And he's playing well. He's playing, compared to last year, pretty out of his mind. However, I think that if Dante Moore can continue to statistically outperform Carson Beck, I think what word am I looking for? The noise championing him as the favorite might continue to increase.
They just beat the Buffalo Bills.
Man,
Is my boy in the MVP contention, DT?
look, bro, I was playing your brother in fantasy football this week, and nigga, I was down bad.
55 points, right?
Yes, I had a 17% chance to win before Bijan took that field. 17% chance. I had him. I had DeAndre Swift too. So I went crazy Monday night.
Yeah.
Bijan, man, I had 17% chance to win, Marshon. And Bijan get out there, man. He took that thing 80 yards. He got me 12 points.
Yeah.
Man, he been doing this every week.
I'm in the office this time, so I can't watch the game. But I look to see if I had caught up. And I peek at y'all game. And I say, ain't no way Bijan by himself, put your whole team on his back, carries you. I said, no way. Only thing I texted my brother, I know you pissed. I didn't hear from them for 2 days.
Are they overweight? Yes, I have 5 teams ahead of them and they're ranked 3rd. So somebody's lying. And it ain't me.
Yeah, I can see that. Actually, I can't even see that. I know that. One thing about college football that I've learned again, just to give y'all a brief history lesson of Marshon's college football watching career. I was big on college football when Reggie Bush, Lindell White, and Matt Lerner was at the USC. I got my heart broken. We're not even going to speak about that. Didn't watch college football for a long time. And I just began to watch college football maybe 1 or 2 years ago. But ever since I've really gotten into college football as an adult, I realized this. Really realized this. They love to overrank everybody. I told y'all when it came to Bill Belichick and thinking that UNC was going to make the playoffs and be a natty contender. Y'all overrate everything. And this is another case of overrated. Everybody and their mama knows Indiana ain't it. Everybody and their mama. I could ask my mama right now. She probably don't even know where Indiana is on the map. So you think...
Don't do like that. I identify Chicago. Don't do that.
Chicago's Illinois. Illinois.
Shit.
Totally different.
Shit.
She been to Chicago. She been to Chicago.
My bad. I guess I can't leave it.
That's what I'm saying. No one knows where Indiana is. And I hope this put the chip on Indiana's shoulder. Because that chip gonna get crushed. Look. I agree. No one. They overweighted. Should they make the playoffs? To be determined. They are on a 2-year good streak where it was hot last year and they came in hot this year. Yes. But let's be honest. I know they're not beating Ohio State. I know they're not beating them boys in the South.
Welcome back to another week of Bring the House podcast, where the takes are hot and the film actually gets watched. I'm DT, the man who's been warning y'all about the Eagles' collapse.
And I'm Marshon, the voice of reason, and here to remind y'all, Green Bay and Baker Maymoney are going to meet in the second to last game of the season, the NFC Championship.
Look, we've got a loaded show. So sit back, turn us up, and let's bring the house, because this week we got a lot of smoke to clear.
Is Carson Beck ready to rehabilitate his image and be the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft, BT?
I don't know. He looking pretty good in that Miami jersey. You know I'm not a Carson Beck guy. You know I'm not a Carson Beck fan. But when you look at the fact that Georgia had the most drops last year, Georgia looks good but not great this year. But Carson Beck is lighting the world on fire with Miami. He's making good throws, making good reads. He's got the freshman Malachi Tony looking out of this world. I don't know. I don't know about first overall pick, but I could definitely see top 10, and he's favorite right now to win the Heisman Trophy. So definitely firmly in the first round.
Look, DT, this year's quarterback class is going to be trash. But it's the NFL, so people are going to be drafted in the first round and overreached for, especially the quarterback position. So, is Carson Beck a number 1 overall pick? No! Christ, no! But is Carson Beck a first rounder? Yes. And a top 10 pick? Potentially. He does look a lot better than last year because I had no faith in him. He was a bust to me just like Quinn Ewers and was set to go in the same round as Quinn Ewers, but he did the right thing, unlike Quinn Ewers, and he went another year to college, even if it was for the bag. So, is he a number 1 overall pick? No. But is he a top 10 pick? Potentially. DT, all 4 teams in the NFC North are separated by 1 game. Who is your favorite to win this division?
To me, it's a 2-horse race, and that's with the Packers and the Lions. If I had to pick today, give me the Detroit Lions to win that division. I like their offense. It seems like it's more productive, and you can trust Jared Goff right now today more than you can trust Jordan Love. Their running game, they have 2 running backs, not just 1 like Green Bay has. And their defense is coming along. They're definitely not where the Packers are as far as their potential on defense, but I definitely can see a possibility and a way forward for the Lions to be a more effective defense when it counts than Packers. Now, those other 2 teams, Minnesota, they need to find a quarterback, right? JJ McCarthy is still kind of hurt, and right now they have Carson Wentz playing, and Carson Wentz is playing effective here and there. But at the same time, do you really trust Carson Wentz to win 10, 11 games this year for the season? I don't really think so. And though I do think that Caleb Williams might be the best quarterback in this division, however, I think that he won't be what we think he can be until the end of the season. And so because of that, I think they're going to drop some games here and there that are going to drop them to the back of the pack in the division over the course of these next 6 or 7 weeks. But by the end, I think they finish strong and finish hot. But let me take the Lions.
Look, DT, this is a 1-horse race, and everybody knows who that horse is. It is the Packers. We're not even peaking yet, and we still look good. Okay, we had some tough losses against the Browns without a quarterback. They had the best defense in the league at the time. What can we say? The Detroit Lions just lost against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know everybody's going to say, but Mahomes, their offense is not as good as it was. And it shows the faults in Detroit. And you got a bunch of hooligans over there going for it on 4th every time and trying to start fights at the end of the game. Shame on you.
Right.
The Packers are But the Packers are the team to beat in the NFC North, in my opinion. And the other 2 teams, as DT said, the Vikings don't have a quarterback. I don't believe JJ McCarthy is ready. I don't believe he will be ready this year. I know you're saying he's injured, but I just don't see it in the kid. And then Caleb Williams, like I said, he won't be good until near the end of his career. or end of his Chicago Bears career, I should say. The Bears will bear, and we know it. So, everybody knows, give me the Packers, because we are the North. Can Sam Darnold be trusted as a franchise quarterback, DT?
I'm going to say yes. Yes. You telling me that right here today, Kevin O'Connell doesn't regret letting Sam Darnold walk?
He does. He does.
Exactly. They had their guy last year, and all they had to do was re-sign him. Yes, he folded in the playoffs. This is true. He reverted back to New York Jets, Carolina Panthers, Sam Darnold. This is a fact. However, he is playing well this year for the Seattle Seahawks. He's leading their team and leading a prolific offense. Most people thought that offense was going to take a step back after losing Geno and losing Lockett. But here that offense is, still humming, still performing. And hey, look, at the end of the day, the NFL today is about having the guy in place that's going to move the ball down the field, not with the deep shots, not with the huge plays, but with making the right play at the right time and having the ability to spray the ball all over the field. And Sam Darnold fits that description perfectly, right? He has enough arm talent, enough mobility to be highly effective in today's NFL. And therefore, for me, we can throw his Jets history out of the window, okay? Let's judge Sam Darnold for who he is with the Minnesota Vikings and now the Seattle Seahawks. And that quarterback that's playing on that field today is a franchise quarterback.
Look, I can agree with you, DT, to an extent. This episode, you might as well call me a fence sitter, because I don't believe he is a great franchise quarterback, but I believe he can keep the status quo at any team he does play for. So he would be a franchise quarterback. He reminds me more so of a poor man's Dak Prescott. He can get you places. He can keep you afloat, but he's not going to do nothing in the playoffs. So I'm going to say he is a franchise quarterback. I'm going to say he's the Seahawks franchise quarterback, if we're being honest. And he also has some years left on him. I believe that Sam Darnold is just 28 years old. So he still is reaching his prime, if not in the midst of his prime. And if T.D. Baker can do it, I believe Sam Darnold could do it. He just ain't got as much dog as T.D. Baker or Baker Maymoney. So I'm going to say, yes, franchise quarterback, but he's never going to do anything in the playoffs.
Yeah. Headlines around football. This week, some hats finally dropped in the college landscape and in the NFL. But let's start in the NFL. Brian Callahan fired from the Tennessee Titans after, I believe, 2 seasons with them. And in the first year of having Cam Ward, I think I saw a stat out there that like 7 or 8 of the last like 10 or 11 teams to draft a quarterback in the first round, the head coach gets fired the following year, that rookie year for that quarterback. It's a trend that's starting in the league. On this show specifically, we had a conversation about, development versus having the raw talent and the raw talent carrying you in the NFL, but all positions, not just quarterback. And, a lot of what's being talked about today is that conversation of, is the NFL failing young quarterbacks? So, that being said, just while we stay in here on this specific topic, and obviously the Browns too with their situation, what do you think about A, Brian Callahan being fired, and B, what does this say about young quarterback development?
You can call this the French Revolution in the NFL, because a lot of heads are rolling and a lot more is to come. I think it was a good move personally for the Titans. Their offense is inept, and you can say what you want, whether it was Levis's fault or Cam Moore's fault. At the end of the day, both quarterbacks had something in common. And, excuse my language, that was his trash-ass coach. So, I think it was time for him to go ahead and scoop and get on up out of there. I think that they just need a fresh start. Now, do I think this season will be salvaged? No. Look at the Saints last year when they fired their coach, Dennis Allen. They won a game, and they were the Saints. So, I think Cam Ward is still going to have a struggle rookie year. He may go off next game, because I've seen a stat also with those coaches that are being fired the game after they're reinvigorated. Mm-hmm. But Unfortunately, this will be a throwaway year for Cam Ward. I just hope he doesn't fall in the same old cycle as the other quarterbacks who had their coaches fired and became stuck in a cycle of mediocrity or bad play. So I just hope it doesn't hit Cam Ward. DT, what are your thoughts on the situation?
For me, I'm not that high on Cam Ward as a talent, but he is growing on me. I mentioned that I think a show or two ago. His skills are growing on me, but I have concerns about whether or not he's talented enough to overcome this situation. Like his raw talent, is it good enough to overcome bad coaching or get a like it would take a lot for Ben Johnson to give up on Caleb Williams. As much as they cut away to Ben Johnson looking like just cussing and just shaking his head when Caleb Williams does stupid shit. Guess who's gonna go out there the next drive? Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
And so I don't know if Cam Ward has that same kind of staying power. Like Cam Ward is a lot like, maybe how the next coach might treat Justin Fields. Like, yeah, he's Cam Ward. He's not the next guy we can get. And so I don't know, man. I think over the course of the NFL in the last few years of its culture and its history, a lot of these guys get churned. And Cam Ward, like if Jackson Dart's going to be a franchise quarterback over there with the Giants, somebody's got to be the guy that gets churned. That's just the odds and the numbers of the game. And so this increases his odds of being the guy that gets churned. I don't even really know what I think. If I were the Titans, I would be looking for, like everybody should be looking for, I would be looking for a guy off the McVay and the Shanahan tree. That seems to work well for everybody. Cam Ward and a guy like C.J. Stroud are very similar in terms of they're black quarterbacks and they're not necessarily, the dual threat guys. They're the pocket passing guy. And so, I think that style offense, the wide zone and the play action, I think that might do well for Cam Ward. But speaking on the Browns,
I have one question for that
go ahead.
Before we leave this topic. So we know, I'm not going to say we know, but it's about a 99.99999% chance that McDaniels gets fired down there with the Dolphins. Do you think he will be a good fit for Cam Ward as an offensive coordinator?
As an offensive coordinator, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that would be an ideal scenario. But who's going to be the guy that gets hired as the head coach there that's going to want McDaniels? Like, to be honest with you, if I'm the Titans, I might consider McDaniels as the head coach.
Really?
Yes. Because you got to look at it like this, right? You got to look at it like this. When at the highs of what McDaniels and the Dolphins had, it was elite performance, right? And though it was only regular season, McDaniels during his tenure had some pretty rough things happen to him with the Tua injury, consistently making national news and all that stuff. He had, I believe it was Jalen Phillips tore and busted 2-3 ACLs 2-3 years in a row. His lead pass rusher. Now Tyreek Hill's out for most of the year. He just had a rough tenure, you know what I'm saying? And he is and was a bright mind. Like a lot of the motioning, like as far as the motion at the line, at the snap, he invented that stuff. And I think that he's a hot commodity still, even though the stock might be down on him. I do think that the Miami Dolphins should fire him. Like it's not working. It's not working out there, and I don't see it working out there anymore. But at the same time, I still think that he's a hot commodity, and the team like the Titans would do well in hiring him either as offensive coordinator or the head coach. But I don't think they can get him as offensive coordinator, so probably head coach.
Okay, I understand. I respect that. Yeah, just real quick to give Mike McDaniels, to give him his flowers. He is the reason that everybody plays him and Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to say it's a duo. Why everybody plays two safeties too high. And I understand they roll into different coverages at snap. I understand that. But the reason they start off at two safeties high is one, because of how dominant his offense was, his first couple years, and how when you motion a man and they're in motion and your cornerback is static trying to follow him, and then you have that speed of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, he is the reason why two high safeties, and Patrick Mahomes, of course, why two high safeties are a thing in the NFL. So he is very revolutionary, and like you said, I believe he'll be a great fit for Cam. And Cam will actually look magnificent in his offense, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
But
and like their offense was beautiful, bro. Like when that thing was humming and Tua was faking it, play action and snapping around and knew exactly where to go with it, and it was released, it was on time, all the RPOs and like it was fun to watch, and I was actually excited to see. Not that I wanted Tua to get hurt, but I wanted to see what Quinn Ewers could do in this offense, even though he's a third string quarterback. But Tua and Quinn both are highly proficient passers in terms of completion percentage. And those guys, McDaniel seems to do really, really well with, really, really productive with. So I wanted to see what Ewers would look like in an offense. And it doesn't look like we're ever going to get that opportunity because, like you said, I don't think McDaniel is going to make it out of the year.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with that. But DT, with all the heads that are rolling and the guillotine is chopping, let's go to another team that potentially a coach or a GM will be chopped. We talked about Mike McDaniels losing his job, and we say it's almost a formality at this point. Do you think it's the same for the Browns and Stefanski, or do you think it's time for Andrew Berry to get chopped, or should they just clean house, period, and cut both of them? What are your thoughts, DT?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say neither one gets fired, and that's because I think they got something going on with keeping Shador on the bench. You know, I think there's no way you like go along with this without some assurances. You know what I'm saying? To have the clearly better quarterback, first of all, start out at third string, but then you trade the opening day starter away, and still you got this guy in there that's afraid to throw the ball down the field every game, every drive, just every yard, every pass, a 2-yard pass. Like it's almost like Dylan Gabriel's out there, like knowing, well, they can't bench me if I don't throw an interception. I can be ass. I can be ass, but as long as I don't throw 3 picks in one game, they cannot bench me. And our defense is good enough to maybe get lucky here and there once in a blue moon and win the game. But I know they can't bench. They can't blame me if I'm not turning it over. And so that's how he's out there playing. And that's just, it's like the team wants Shador to start. The fans want Shador to start. Everybody wants him to start. And they're just like refuse. And so that's why I think, and like even Kevin Stefanski's interviews, like when he's asked about, are you going to promote Shador to the second quarterback, or how many reps Shador getting, he doesn't really want to answer the question. Kind of like it's already decided above his pay grade. And so, yeah, I think that he's like more, not necessarily a figurehead, but like he got an agreement already in place that, he gonna get a mulligan for this season. That's what I think. So I don't think he gets fired. Him or Barry.
Okay, conspiracy theories there. I rocks with it because I'm on the complete opposite end. I think heads are going to roll in Cleveland, and the reason that is you have, I don't know if you've seen this, DT, but you have division rival coaches calling you out by name. Andrew Berry, Mike Tomlin stated,
I did see that.
Andrew Berry has to be the smartest man in the world. He has to be way smarter than you or me. Because you trade a quarterback to a division rival that is clearly needing of a quarterback. And it's the quarterback that you decided will be your opening day starter. And then Joe Flacco goes there and he actually looks competent. Now, to the Browns' defense, they do have 2 all-world receivers. Well, 1 all-world receiver and 1 great receiver. We consider T. Higgins a great receiver?
One very good receiver. Let's put him in the very good category.
Okay.
He's very good.
Okay. 1 very good receiver. I would say a top-tier number 2 receiver. If you had a number 2 receiver on your team, you would want it to be T. Higgins. So
To be
a
clear,
top tier
I
number
think
2
great.
receiver.
When you put the word great out there, I think you're approaching the Hall of Fame, and I don't put T. Higgins there yet. So very good is where I'll put it.
Okay. But the other one's all world, right?
Yes,
Jamar Chase.
Absolutely. Jamar Chase could stop playing right now. He's in the Hall.
That's forced. But I will say this: the catch he had on my Packers, treating both of my cornerbacks, defensive backs like babies, he's undeniable. It is what it is. I can't. What do? You just got to be. It reminds me, that catch that I seen on Sunday reminds me of when Julio routed up. He routed up. I forgot how he routed up. But the Packers defender went the other way, and Julio went that way on a little out route. And you just gotta chalk it up to like he just better. It is what it is. You could have put Darrelle Revis on him, and I'm not gonna say he can get the better of Darrelle Revis, but it's gonna be some plays where you be like,
tip you cap.
Exactly. So yeah, that is Jamar Chase, but I digress. Yeah, I think that it's time for a regime change. Like you said, I don't know what it is. There's some collusion going on to keep Shador on the bench. Maybe they gonna roll him out the red carpet eventually one of these days. But to give a rookie quarterback with one of the worst O-lines in the league 50 plus passes, and you have Quinshon Judkins back there leading rookie running backs. Mind you, Quinshon Judkins is not Ashton Genty. Well, my fault. Wasn't drafted on the same tier as Ashton Genty, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But he was leading rookie running backs in rush yards, and you give him 10 carries the entire game.
I'd have ran the
I
ball.
know you down. I understand it. That's what I'm saying. I know you down, but Kevin Stefanski, even his coaching, it's just personally. I watch a YouTuber named FB Teams, and I agree with him. Shout out to FB Teams. I don't want Shador back there. Not with Kevin Stefanski calling the plays. And the more you think about it, I don't even think Shador Sanders would have did well. I don't think he would have did as bad as Dylan Gabriel against the Steelers with 52 or 50 plus. I think it's 52. 50 plus passes. I don't think he would have did as bad as Dylan Gabriel, but he wouldn't have did good against the Steelers defense with 50 plus passes. Do you think he's gonna do well?
No, but
with TJ every play dog walking your tackle.
Everybody's goal not to win, bro. Everybody, you know how hard it is to be this damn bad for this damn long. Do you have any idea how hard it is to be this bad for this long? Like they literally have had the best defense the top three defense in the NFL for the last 6 years and have done absolutely nothing with it. Like because they draft at the top of the draft every year and they draft in the top of every round every year, mathematically, they should have one of the best rosters in the NFL because they have access to the most talent more than anybody else in the NFL. And what are they? Trash. They've been trash. So everybody's goal is not to win. So you say Barry and Stefanski will get fired. Are they regime change? The Browns can't keep doing this, bro. They can't keep doing this. They can't keep firing. They can't keep cleaning house every 4 or 5 years. Okay, at some point they just go like, this is intentional. They've been asked for since the 60s. If you keep it in the bean, they couldn't do shit with Nick Saban. Or was it Nick Saban? No, Bill Belichick. Who was there? Saban was there, right? They had Saban and Belichick under the same roof in their prime. As hungry guys trying to prove that they had a motivated Nick Saban and Bill Belichick before the Wells, before championships, before Alabama, before New England, and they still couldn't win. That should tell you all you need to know, right there. Right there. I mean, look, man. Okay, everybody's objective is not to win. Maybe some people's objective is to lose. What else could you say? They have been terrible for this long. They have got to be doing this intentionally. It is very hard to do this by accident. It's very hard. It's literally impossible to be this bad by accident.
Yeah.
The iconic thing I think about the Cleveland Browns, bro, is You remember, like, I think, like, right around the time Manziel was drafted, the guy went viral for having the Browns jersey, where he was just scratching off the quarterback name and like writing in the next guy's name, and like the list was all the way down the jersey, back of the jersey, like from Tim Couch all the way to Johnny Manziel. It was just like a revolving door of guys that's supposed to be the savior. And the Cleveland Browns, their sole purpose in the NFL is to be the franchise where we send guys to punish them. I don't know what Myles Garrett did.
Odell.
I don't know what Myles Garrett did to them to be drafted there, but that's cool. But they sent Amari Cooper there to get punished. That's like they Siberia. They sent Odell there to get punished. Now they got Shador Sanders over there in the gulag.
You want to be a prima donna? Okay, I'm gonna show you a prima donna.
So no prima donnas can exist. I'll see you to a place where the sun don't shine, and that's Cleveland. I don't know,
bro. You know it's crazy.
They just bad, bro. They bad.
I had an internship in Cleveland, and like I say, I always say this: the people are amazing.
They don't deserve this. Nobody deserves.
They don't, bro. Cleveland love them some Browns, and I'm just like everybody. So mind you, it's the summer. Football season ain't started yet. Hard Knocks just started, and Cleveland is buzzing. Cleveland ain't even talking about the Cavaliers. They ain't talking about the Guardians or the Indians or whoever you want to call it, whatever you want to say with the baseball team. They talking about the Browns, and they know they gonna be ass.
Bad, bro. Bad. Man. They need, bro. They need to, like, it's like one of them. Like, they just need to dissolve the team, bro. Like, for real, like dissolve it, bro. Because it's bro. They hadn't won, bro. The last championship they won was when they didn't call it a Super Bowl.
Definitely
they called it a world championship or some shit. The last thing they won was with the legendary Jim Brown. Jim Brown is 3 generations ago of football players. Maybe more than that.
More than that, definitely more than that.
Call it 4 generations ago, Jim Brown. Even though he just recently passed, but still, like it's 4 generations ago.
The last time the Cleveland Browns won a championship was 1964. Before my dad was born. Before my dad was born, man.
My dad was probably in diapers. My dad probably don't even remember a Cleveland Super Championship. That's bad, dog. That's intentional. What year is it? What year is it? It's 2025. How many years is that?
It is. You got 74, 84, 94, 2004.
Oh, something like that.
2024. It's 50. It's 51 years. 51 years. 51 years.
50 years, bro. I'm over here crying about a 27-year drought. It's been 50 for the Cleveland Browns fan. I couldn't imagine being a Cleveland Browns fan.
Bro, it has been people who have been born and Cleveland Browns won a championship and died. It still ain't won a championship. They ain't even sniffed that mug. Golly.
And then to go and see, like, you see guys like Baker Mayfield, you hit on the quarterback, and then he go, you send him away, and yeah, he has some down years with the Panthers and with somebody else, but he finds the Buccaneers. All of a sudden, he's a franchise quarterback in the MVP race.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, bro. Like, this got to be intentional. Ain't no way you mess this up on accident like this for 50 years. I just don't believe it. But we can move on. Rest in peace.
Shout out Cleveland, bro. I hope y'all do. I really hope y'all do find some joy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I hope all the franchises who ain't never had that find some joy. From the Jaguars to the Lions. I don't even like Cowboys, but to the Cowboys, bro, I just hope they find some peace in what they do. But heads are rolling everywhere, including in college, DT. Penn State. What are your thoughts on Penn State's collapse and James Franklin being fired?
Before they went to the 12-team playoff, they said that going to the 12-team playoff would benefit coaches like James Franklin. The guys that couldn't beat the top Big Ten schools and couldn't win the big games in terms of non-conference and playoff games. Because he was going to be able to say, that that his program was a playoff team pretty much every year. You know, if he only loses to Michigan and Ohio State and only has those two losses, makes the playoff, loses to a SEC school first round every year, that would have kept him his job. But the fact that you lose to Oregon, who at this moment in time is still ranked pretty highly. I think they might have just lost. Did they just lose?
Yeah, they just lost to Indiana, I believe. I watched that game. It's crazy. It was on my Bucks game. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, Oregon. Sorry. Yeah, they lost to Indiana. Hoosiers. Hoosiers number 3 now, and Oregon is number 8.
So yeah, so they lost. So Oregon, they lose to Oregon on the road. At home, excuse me, and
at home.
And then they lose to UCLA, and see what I thought was that because Drew Allen went down, that he was going to get a pass for the whole year. That's why I genuinely thought that he was now safe because Drew Allen was out for the year. But because see what killed him was the fact that he couldn't win the big game before this happened. Like he just refused to win the big game. And, he kind of gave him the excuse, unfortunately. He gave him the excuse. Yes, the season collapsed, but for me, if I'm not Ohio State, if I'm not a blue blood, and I would consider Penn State a blue blood, but like you're not commanding the attention that Ohio State. I don't even think Michigan commands the recruiting attention that Ohio State does, and your Alabamas and your Texas, LSU. If we're not these big time programs, it's very hard, very, very hard to do what James Franklin has done. James Franklin has got Saquon Barkley, has got Micah Parsons, got Chop Robinson, got all these elite athletes to come to Penn State, and he got some out there right now. His fatal flaw was he couldn't find receivers, and he couldn't win the big one. Just period. But like, what coach are they gonna get that's gonna be able to recruit like James Franklin? Like without James Franklin, I don't see how they don't become Maryland, how they don't become
Pitt,
become Iowa. Like there was value in what James Franklin built beyond the fact that he couldn't win the big game, in my opinion. But should they have fired him? They were 3-3. Really, if you want, I think you should say 3-2 because, like I said, Drew Allen was down and out. I don't know.
It's bad losses, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, UCLA.
It's bad losses.
Yeah, the
you lose against UCLA, who got an 0 for going 4. And I understand UCLA is a reformed team now that they got their new offensive coordinator. Shout out to their new offensive coordinator. He's a genius when it comes to his play design. But you lose a tough game to an 0 for team who, at that point, DC, at that point in the season, had never led in a single game. They were 0 for 4 and never led at any point in a single game, and you lose to them. And then I understand you could say 3-2 because they lost their starting quarterback, but you lose to Northwestern.
But bro, okay, so who do you put the Oregon loss on? He took Oregon to overtime, and Drew Allen did some boneheaded shit. He didn't like James Franklin has nothing to do with Drew Allen forcing that wheel route like that.
He do. He should have let Drew Allen hit the transfer portal last year after he found out that boy can't throw. It could never throw. Drew Allen is one of the most talented quarterbacks I ever seen, who just refuses to get better. Drew Allen can run. He's big like Josh Allen. He can truck people. He has, I'm not going to say he has a Josh Allen arm, but he has a decent arm. He just is inaccurate. This man last year in the playoffs, Drew Allen last year in the playoffs, literally did not pass to a single receiver. You wonder why they can't recruit receiver. What you going to pitch a receiver when your quarterback didn't pass to a single receiver in a 60-minute game?
First of all, you can't get receivers to come up north. So let's just start there. Unless you're Ohio State. Unless you're Ohio State.
Ohio State. Okay.
Unless you're Ohio. I mean,
You're
who
right.
else
You're
is
right.
doing
You're
it?
right.
Like Xavier Worthy literally got out of his letter of intent to go to Michigan to go to Texas from he's from California. And so
Yeah. Oh no, you're not telling California boy to go to the cold. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If we see snow, we gone.
But so like that's what I'm saying. Like he had James Franklin and Penn State had elite ball players playing for them. Elite guys. They are literally the place to buy if you're, out shopping metaphorically as an NFL general manager. You go to Penn State to buy the athletes. That's where you get the athletic groceries from. And will that continue without James Franklin? We don't know. I hear rumors that it might be Matt Rule. Hell no. No, Matt Rule. He ain't in that's gonna be an absolute step down.
I agree. Nebraska.
You think Dylan Raiola gonna follow Matt Rule follow Matt Rule to Penn State? Nah.
Negative.
So like that's what I'm saying. So like who is the guy you're going to get? See, everybody likes to fire everybody, but who is the guy you're going to get to replace these people that's gonna be better? You can't just think about, well, I don't like him, so I'm gonna fire him. Okay, but who you going? How
about Freeze?
What?
How about Freeze from Auburn? Hugh Freeze.
He don't have the relationships though. I mean, that might be good to get players from the South.
Yeah,
but it's kind of
like they don't do good in the cold.
Kind of like how Gary Patterson with TCU, when he was at TCU, he was able to squeeze all the juice after Texas ran through the state. After Texas A&M ran through the state, and after all the SEC schools ran through the state, he was able to get those 3 and low-rated 4 stars and turn them into NFL players. And that's a lot of what James Franklin has been able to do. He's been able to turn those Northeastern talents like Micah Parsons, like Saquon Barkley, even though both of those players I believe were highly rated. He was still able to take those
Singleton,
guys and turn them into the stars of the NFL. And yes, they want to win national championships at Penn State. But still, I don't think you find a guy that's giving you that same energy on the recruiting trail like James Franklin was at Penn State. Penn State's probably a hard school to recruit to. And I've been there.
Nah, he was a great recruiter. He was a great recruiter. It's no putting it past. Great recruiter. It's just, it's kind of the Penn State had the Steelers effect right now when it comes to Mike Tomlin, where they're going to make the playoffs. Well, they wasn't going to make the playoffs this year, unfortunately, but they're going to make playoffs most years, about 80% of the years. But if you're not doing it in the playoffs, what's the point? I'm not content with, personally, I know a lot of people out there are content with their team just being a winning team. I'm not content with just being a winning team. You might as well blow my franchise up and restart over. I need at least, I want to sniff the championship. I want to smell my team. I want to be the person that walk around the office and talk shit that my team is in the bowl. We may not win the bowl. I hope we win the bowl. I'm going to pray. But if we in the bowl, I want to be able to talk shit to every single person in the office and let them know the Packers is in the bowl. USC is one of the top teams. Deion Sanders is a great coach. I want to be that person. So if I ain't that person, if I got to be like, we made the playoffs. We make the playoffs.
Yeah.
The playoffs.
I feel it. I don't know. Yeah. It just depends on who they hire after James Franklin. And we'll see. We'll just set this to the side.
I agree. Speaking of college, I just told you Oregon Ducks is number 8 now. And the big, mighty Hoosiers, the Indianimals, is number 3. DT, are they overweighted?
So I sat down and I looked at this, and I have 5 teams. I'm looking at my big board here. I have 5 teams that I think can beat Indiana handily by a score or more. I have Ohio State, Miami, Texas A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss as the 5 teams that I think will beat Indiana. And I would also throw in, and you might call me a homer because there's a whole lot of Southern schools and Texas schools, and
I was gonna say, yeah, give me a
SEC schools.
give me a Big Ten school. Give me a Big Ten school. Give me
I
one
mean,
Big Ten
Ohio
school.
State. I mean, that's it. I don't. Michigan's not relevant in this conversation. But
USC.
no, I don't think they got that. No, not Indiana. But I'm just saying, to answer the question, are they overweight? Yes, I have 5 teams ahead of them, and they're ranked 3rd. So somebody's lying, and it ain't me.
Yeah, I can see that. Actually, I can't even see that. I know that. we one thing about college football that I've learned again, just to give you all a brief history lesson of Marshon's college football career or college football watching career. I was big on college football when Reggie Bush, Lindell White, and Matt Lerner was at the USC. I got my heart broken. We're not even gonna speak about that. Didn't watch college football for a long time, and I just began to watch college football maybe 1 or 2 years ago. But ever since I've really gotten into college football as an adult, I've realized this. I really realized this. They love to overrank everybody. I told y'all when it came to Bill Belichick and thinking that UNC was going to make the playoffs and be a natty contender. Y'all overrate everything. And this is another case of overrating. Everybody in their mama knows Indiana ain't it. Everybody in their mama. I could ask my mama right now. She probably don't even know where Indiana is on the map. So you think
Don't do bombs like that. You can identify Chicago. Don't do that.
Chicago's Illinois. Illinois.
Shit.
Totally different. She been to Chicago.
My bad. I guess I can't either.
That's what I'm saying. No one knows where Indiana is. And I hope this put the chip on Indiana's shoulder. Because that chip gonna get crushed. Look. I agree. No one, they overweighted. Should they make the playoffs? To be determined. They on a 2-year good streak where it was hot last year and they came in hot this year. Yes, but let's be honest. I don't think that. I know they're not beating Ohio State. I know they're not beating them boys in the South and the SEC. I personally think it's some Big 12 schools that can handle them. So, do I think they did good against the Oregon? Yes. Do I think they're number 3? No.
Let me give you the list of schools, bro, if I may. They beat Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, who was ranked at the time, I believe. They beat them 63-10. And Iowa. Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, and Iowa. And that got them.
That sounds like a UT schedule.
I was going to say
it. Beginning of the year, before conference play.
I was going to say it. And that got them ranked 3rd in the country. And so they beat, I'll call it, two ranked teams. They beat Illinois and Oregon.
I don't know what the committee be on. Whatever drug they be on.
The Associated Press.
Oh, the Associated Press.
AP. Yeah,
I want them drugs. I want all them drugs. I want all of them. Because AP don't take into consideration nothing.
Not a damn thing. Because that's crazy. To rank them over Georgia, but to rank them over Georgia. I know, college football still has a culture where the undefeated team gets ranked first and all that type of stuff. Great, cool.
Yeah.
But nobody in their right mind thinks that Indiana will beat Georgia on a neutral field. That's crazy to even think. You could get away with maybe there's a crowd of people that thinks they can beat Texas A&M. There might be a crowd of people that think they can beat Ole Miss, but
they're not beating Marcel Reed. They're not beating my boy from Ole Miss at QB. I forgot his name, but they're not beating them.
Yeah, that's just weird to have Indiana ranked 3rd. We're not playing basketball. We're playing football. At the end of the day, and there's no way this ends, but plummeting. I think that this might be very, very bad for their playoff chances. Just because you put them on this pedestal, only for them to fall off. And the world is gonna have this negative opinion about them. Look at how Texas went from preseason number 1 all the way to unranked. They were unranked last week. They're ranked again now, back to 20. At the start of the Oklahoma game, they were unranked. And now they're ranked 21st again. And, Indiana doesn't have no whole lot of Oklahomas and Tennessees and LSUs and Vanderbilts sitting around on their schedule to legitimize them if they fall off for 1 or 2 games. So them falling off 1 or 2 games could be catastrophic. And so they'd be unranked. That might be bad.
Yeah. Overrated, and they continue to be overhated. All right. DT, speaking of cons, had a great conversation. Let's continue the conversation. We just spoke about Carson Beck and whether he should be a first overall pick. There's another quarterback just creeping. Very efficient. Another Oregon product. And Oregon produced some good QBs. Dante Moore. Do you think, DT, Dante Moore has a chance to win the Heisman? Or is it still in Carson Beck's favor?
It's still in Carson Beck's favor just because Carson Beck's quarterback of like the number 1, number 2 team in the country right now. And he's playing well. He's playing, compared to last year, pretty out of his mind. However, I think that if Dante Moore can continue to statistically outperform Carson Beck, I think the what word am I looking for? The noise championing him as the favorite might continue to increase. Right now, he has 15 touchdowns. They have the same amount of interceptions, 3, but Dante Moore has 15 touchdowns and a 72% completion percentage. Those are very, very good stats. And I think if he can keep that up, I think Dante Moore is gonna be the Heisman Trophy winner. He's got a very good offensive. Which offensive or which receiving core do you like more, Miami's or Oregon?
That's tough. I'm gonna have to get a slight advantage to Miami. If we compare my boy DeCorey Moore, nice. I feel like DeCorey Moore is better than any Miami receiver. But after that, I'm not saying a severe drop off for. Yeah, I feel like he's better than Tony. I feel like Tony next year is gonna be a Jeremiah Smith, but because he's gonna have enough time to be polished. But I feel like the Corian is more. They both very athletic. Dang, that's tough. That's tough. I still would take the edge for DeCorian Moore. I feel like
I would agree.
I feel like he's a lot more. He can make a lot more. His catch radius is large. I should say. I feel like his catch radius is a lot larger. Not a lot larger. That's a lie, but it's larger than Tony. Tony right now is just a burner, great route runner. He don't have a catch radius as DeCorian. So I'm gonna give it to DeCorian. I'm gonna give Oregon a slight heads over Miami for receiving core. But they both got immaculate receiving cores. This is no slight at Miami. Miami receiving cores is like that.
Yeah. So I asked that to say, like a lot of their production in this conversation is going to be fueled by how talented they pass catchers are. And so I don't know. I think that Carson Beck will win it, but I think Dante Moore is going to close the gap very considerably. It might be a very, very close race by the end.
I can see that. Do you think Moore will overtake him in draft wise if he does enter the draft? Again, he's a redshirt sophomore, but if he does enter the draft, do you think he can overtake Carson Beck draft wise and be that number 1 quarterback off the board? And I say that to say this, or I ask that to say to just give you a little bit more context. Dante Moore, not DeCorey Moore. Sorry, 2D Moores. But Dante Moore is a lot younger. So a lot more room to improve. You've seen a bad year from Carson Beck. You've seen a bounce back here, but you've seen a bad year from Carson Beck. Do you think the NFL has more of a hunger for the talent and the upside aspect, or knowing what you're going to get from a veteran quarterback, a college football veteran quarterback like Carson Beck?
Honestly, I think that they're going to like Dante Moore more than they're going to like Carson Beck because of what you just outlined. Carson Beck's got that year of bad tape out there, and it's not really bad tape. Like I said, the receivers dropped more passes in the country than anybody last year for Georgia. But at the same time, like Carson Beck has that stench on him of the guy that was afraid to go the Quinn Ewers route, so he went back to college. And I think that stench is going to be persistent. Whereas Dante Moore is the new, fresh, kind of clean slate, and like you said, younger guy that you can build into. So I think that's going to be the cooler pick to make, Dante Moore. And I think personally, I haven't scouted them yet, but I like Dante Moore more than I like Carson Beck, but I have negative inputs already from Carson Beck. So there's that.
Okay. And you still think the NFL has that knack after seeing the Vikings struggle with JJ, with a what could be considered a project quarterback, younger quarterback? I know JJ got a lot of time. JJ probably only 21, 22, so he has a lot of time to improve. But do you think the NFL knack for a young quarterback that has the potential to be great has been kind of tampered after seeing JJ perform?
There's a stat out there. It might have been by Bill Polian or somebody else, I can't remember. But it's basically that no, it was Bill Parcells, I believe. I can't remember who. But the stat is that you need your college quarterback to have 30 starts and be a 3-year starter to be a successful NFL quarterback. And so, but Carson Beck has had way more than that. Or at least feels like he has. And he's been in college like 5 years now. And so, what's the law of diminishing returns? Because Dante Moore, if he comes out this year, he's not going to have 30 starts and be a 3-year starter. Like he's only going to be like a 2-year starter, I believe. I still lean towards taking Dante Moore just because I think that floor to ceiling, Dante Moore has more talent than Carson Beck. And even with the struggles of JJ McCarthy, I don't think the Vikings regret drafting JJ McCarthy because they couldn't get a Caleb Williams and they couldn't get Jaden Daniels. They had to trade up to get JJ McCarthy. And Daniels and Williams were already gone at the time they drafted.
Even May.
Like if that's the guy you want to call the safe guy from that draft, like everybody was gone off the board, So not that JJ McCarthy was a project, because he wasn't a project prospect, but they had learned that Dante Moore and JJ McCarthy both kind of started stop in terms of like being able to get on the field. I think if memory serves, he started his first year at UCLA, then sat the bench last year for Dylan Gabriel, and now he's a starter again. I believe that's how that went.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And so JJ McCarthy kind of split time with Orgy and whoever else when he was at Michigan, and then started the whole year the last year. And so they're similar in that way. And, it kind of shows specifically with JJ McCarthy, like his inability to read the defense, to recognize pressure, to be on time. Like those are the things that become problems when you haven't played enough football, when you haven't started enough games. Awareness that you gain with a Carson Beck having more snaps and appreciation for those specific things compared to the talent that you lose dropping from Carson Beck to Dante Moore, I don't think is worth it. I think you still take Dante Moore. You still would prefer to have Caleb Williams over Carson Beck or any of those guys. It's just not a good trade-off, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely see that there. Look at Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was drafted. Sam Darnold been in the league, what, 6, 7 years? Or 7, 8 years? Something like that? He's 28. Sam Darnold's not even 30 yet. And he's been in the league 7, 8 years. Yeah, so, God forbid, but exactly. But if Dante Moore comes out next year, he's going to be 21. And God forbid he has 7 years of bad NFL. He's going to be 28. And that's when he comes to his own. He can actually read defenses. He's been in the NFL 7 years, so on and so forth. I see that. With Carson Beck, 7 years from now, he's going to be 32 damn near. You don't have time. You don't have time to be like, Carson Beck, okay now. That was a bad read. It ain't none of that.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I like that. Last few topics here. We're going to switch back to the NFL. I know we discussed a lot of college, y'all. I'm sorry for that, but college is very entertaining this year. For some reason, college is very, very entertaining.
Yeah.
My team's doing good. Art's finally starting to look good.
Hey, they must have heard that rant last week. They must have heard it. Must have got under their skin.
Arts was game manager. Caden Salter finally did good. But back to the NFL. Last couple topics here. Let's discuss Bijan. They just beat the Buffalo Bills.
Man.
Is my boy in the MVP contention, DT?
Look, bro, I was playing your brother in fantasy football this week. and nigga, I was down bad. I had at the lowest, I had a
34, 35 points, right?
Yes, I had a 17% chance to win before Bijan took that field. 17% chance. I had him and who played? It was another Monday night game. Was it the Lions and the?
It's the Commanders or Bears.
I had DeAndre Swift too. So I went crazy Monday night. Bijan, man, I had 17% chance to win, Marshon. And Bijan get out there, man. He took that thing 80 yards. He got me 12 points. What's that? That's the 8 plus the 4. That's 12 points on one play.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. And he been doing this every week.
I seen that, and my brother was talking. My brother Sunday night, he was like, "If James Cook don't get to cooking, I may be in trouble." I'm looking at the thing. I'm like, bro, you have about 34 points. What are you talking about, bro? He has 2 people. These people had to go off. Mind you, I'm at work. I'm at work from 10:30 to 9 p.m. Monday through Wednesday. So that game, I'm in the office this time, so I can't watch the games. Sunday I can at least watch the games. I'm in the office. I can't watch the games. So I didn't see none of the game. Why I'm like, because I'm looking to see if I myself had caught back up. I didn't. I lost y'all in fantasy this week. I'm 5-1, unfortunately. But I looked to see if I had caught up. And I peek at y'all game. And I say, ain't no way Bijan by himself put your whole team on his back, carries you. I said, no way. Only thing I texted my brother, I know you pissed. I know you pissed. I didn't hear from him for 2 days.
Oh, buddy, that was a bailout. I never seen one. That was a bailout. Our ass was on the grill. We was cooked. 17. I don't think I ever came back and won from a 17% chance to win. I don't think that's ever happened. And here we are. So shouts out to Bijan, man. And specifically, MVP race wise, the brother is balling. And he doesn't have the injury history that your McCaffreys and Barkley's had when they were really competing for the MVP in terms of missing games. Like his play style is a lot less contact oriented compared to those two backs, and he kind of makes guys miss a little bit more than those two. And so he takes
the Sean McCoy coming.
Yeah. And so, like, between the receptions he's able to get and the rush yards, man, I think bro can legitimately compete for the MVP. Especially if you're big names like Mahomes. Like, if it's a race between, like, Baker, Dak, and Bijan, I think Bijan can, like, finish second in that race. Because they're not trying to give one to Baker. They're not trying to give one to Dak. This might be the year they give one to a running back.
And they tied him Mahomes. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I really hope it's Baker. Like I said, that's my like 4th or 5th GOAT, you know. TD Baker make money. That's my boy. And I just want him to do it just to shit on Cleveland that much more. The Browns, Cleveland, love the people. the Browns, but just to shit on Cleveland that much more. I really hope Baker win it, and I'm just a big Baker fan. He's just a dog. He's just a dog. He's not the tallest quarterback. He ain't got the greatest arm. He ain't got the elite reads like a Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. But he fights. He fights. So I hope Baker win it. But if Baker don't win it, it gotta be Bijan. My second GOAT, Patrick Mahomes. My boy done won enough MVPs, bro. He alright, bro. He's sitting pretty. He good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Bijan. And the fact that Bijan himself carried. I'm not saying Michael Penix is a bad quarterback. I'm not DT. But
I stand by my statements.
But the fact that you have a running back that not only brings life back to a team, but also can carry a team like that, is that special. That's very special. So if anybody win it other than Baker, it has to be Bijan. It has to be a Bijan Baker, especially if they continue. It has to be a Bijan Baker conversation.
I need them to give Algier a little bit less touches. A little bit less. A little bit less. I want Bijan to last the whole season, so I appreciate that they split up the carries like they do. Like they got a real good mix going. But I need Algier to get a little bit more time on the bench. Selfishly for my fantasy team.
I see. Because Algier is basically their Montgomery. He like a poor man's Montgomery for them. And Bijan is like a rich man's Jahmyr Gibbs. And that's saying something because Jahmyr Gibbs is special. Yeah. But to say that Bijan is like that.
He like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's insane. So I want T. Baker to win it. Shout out Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
Horns down over here. They ruined my college experience as a youth, beating my Trojans. We're not gonna talk about that too much, but yeah, if anybody win it and it's not TD Baker, definitely Bijan. I agree with that. Next topic, DT, Kyle Shanahan. He got a problem on his hands. My boy got a problem on his hands. What are your thoughts on what's going on in 49? When Brock Purdy finally gets healthy, are you starting the money man or are you starting the potential Sam Darnold? Or are you letting the franchise quarterback walk?
Man, I don't know. I mean, Brock Purdy led them or got them to an NFC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know if Mac Jones can do that. However, what we did see from Brock Purdy this season before the injury was not satisfactory to be a quarterback making upwards of $35-40 million a year.
Correct.
And Mac Jones had a bad game against Tampa Bay. He was 27-39, 340, like that's a lot of yards, 347 yards, no touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. And one interception, they say the guy ran the wrong routes, didn't continue the route, was told to stop on a little out route. Whatever, cool, fine, great. And he was also sacked 6 times in that game. But before that, bro had a 279-yard passing game, a 284-yard passing game, 342 against the Rams in a win, a division win, where he had 2 touchdowns. I mean, if he's not going to be their starter, he's making a very good case to be a trade piece and a starter somewhere else next year. Absolutely. So you paid Brock Purdy, so you got to go back to Brock Purdy. You can't have a guy sitting for that amount of cap space on the cap and just not playing. If he's healthy, he's got to play. But if he goes out there, when he finally does go back out there, if he goes out there and he's not good for 2 games, he's playing poorly, the offense don't look the same, I would maybe go back. It depends on how the season look. Like if the 49ers feel like they're going to compete for a championship, and they always feel like they are, regardless of who gets hurt, they just lost Fred Warner for the year. If they still in a mode of competing, go ahead and throw Mac Jones back in there. What do you think?
I can see that. I'm of the mindset it's the curse of the NFL right now. You pay a quarterback or you draft a quarterback. Basically, you put capital into a person, and it turns out their backup play better than them or is better than them. It's the curse of the NFL right now. It happened with the Vikings last year. It's happening with the Niners this year. And it may potentially happen with another team next year. I'm still of the mindset that you keep status quo. You paid a person for what they did before. You believe they had the talent. So it is no choice but for you to play Brock Purdy. And I'm talking about play Brock Purdy until, unlike DT, I believe that you play Brock Purdy until either the team is doing bad 6-7 games afterwards, or Brock Purdy gets hurt again. God forbid, but Brock Purdy gets hurt again. I don't care how good a contract year player does. I look at it like this. Even though Rico Dowdle is actually good, but Rico Dowdle is setting his. Rico Dowdle is doing historic numbers for these past 2 weeks. Historic numbers. I'm talking about 200 yards from scrimmage, 200 plus yards from scrimmage every game for the last 2 weeks.
Why didn't he play when Chuba Hubbard was healthy?
Here's my thing. When Chuba comes back, you play Chuba. I just paid Chuba all this money. That boy, I'm gonna run. God forbid again. I'm gonna run Chuba to the ground. You got me messed up. I done paid you. This mean if you Rico Dowdle going crazy, this mean you better recover faster. That's all I'm saying. Mac Jones going crazy. Hey, Brock Purdy, that arm. I don't even know what he hurt, but whatever it is, I hope your arm warm because I want 300 yards. I want 280 plus every game at least, and wins. I want wins.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm on the mindset of if I pay a person, I'm gonna get my money's worth. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I would do them. Well, this is real life human, so I can't say that. But like I do in NCAA, my linemen on my weaker franchise get hurt every other play. You gonna keep playing until something really bad happens. I don't care. I done paid you. I done put assets into you.
The NIL
NCAA, I put a scholarship into you. And NFL, I put money into you. I put draft picks into you. Ain't no bitching on my field. So that's kind of how I view it.
All right. Y'all ready to lose some money? This week, DT's hitters. Here we come. We back like a crack addict. Can't help ourselves. I say I'm feeling good about every week, so let me not say that this week. Let me not say that. Let's try some reverse psychology. The first one, DK Metcalf to get 1 touchdown. Rushing or receiving, even though he not really used as a gadget. If he scores, it's going to be a receiving touchdown. Playing the Bengals, one of the worst defenses ever constructed. He's got to give me that tutty. Got to give me that tutty. Got to. So that's my first one. Cam Scatterboo, less than 74.5 rushing yards and receiving yards. Rushing and receiving against the Denver Broncos. Broncos got one of the best defenses in the league. I'm expecting, as we'll get to it, well, I'm not going to bring up my next one, but for this one, I'm not saying Cam Scatterboo's not going to have a decent day, but 74.5 is a pretty high number. That's a pretty high number to reach. And I don't really see a day where their run offense is that effective to where Scatterboo is able to get more than 65. Because, yes, like Denver's defense, pass defense is one of the best in the leagues, but their run defense is no slouch either. Their run defense is pretty stout. And then, like, Scatterboo not really like a screen target in terms of getting receiving yards. He's not really even a situation where he gets a check down. He's not going to go for more than 5 to 10 yards, before he's able to get contact, and hopefully they bring him down when he gets contact. So let me get that one. 74.5 rushing and receiving, less than that for Cam Scatterboo. My third one, Jackson Dart, more than a half interception. So just to throw an interception during the game, that's a very, very narrow one. It's only one way that could be right. He's got to throw a pick. He can have a bad game without throwing a pick. Yeah. That you might want to rotate that one out of there, but I'm gonna leave it in for me. Then I've got Jordan Addison, more than 41.5 versus the Eagles. Like we said last week, the Eagles are food. Everybody getting at them in their secondary. And so I don't see why Jordan Addison would be any different, and his number's fairly low at 41.5. Dak Prescott, 272 yards passing against the Washington Commanders. Dak's had some very, very effective games, very highly performing games. He's in the MVP race. But 272 is a very, very high number for Dak. And, he can have elite performances and not even get to 250 with passing yards. So I'm going to take the under for that one. Buy in on or take advantage of the people getting in on the Dak hype. Now, those are my 5. We got DK Metcalf to get a receiving touchdown. We got Cam Scatterboo, 74.5 rushing and receiving. We want the less on that. Jackson Dart to throw an interception. Jordan Addison to have more, 41.5 versus the foolish Eagles. And Dak Prescott to go under for 272.5. Those are my DT's hitters for the week.
I like those. It's the only one I could debate is Jackson Dart. Shout out Jackson Dart. I feel like he'll do better, but I like those.
That's going to be your next GOAT.
All right, let's go ahead and hit our picks and wrap it up, DT. So our picks for the week. Bring up that schedule real quick. All right. So our picks for the week. We got tomorrow, Thursday night football. Steelers, Bengals, puke. Who we taking, DT?
Where's the game being played? Where's that one at?
It's in Bengal Stadium, Cincinnati.
Let me take the Steelers. The Steelers.
Okay. I will say this. I perfectly see why Mike Tomlin is mad. How you trade a quarterback my week, bro? If you don't wait till after my week,
yeah,
I'm gonna go my goat. My original Green Bay Packer goat. Shout out Brett Favre, but I only seen the tail end of your career. I seen a full career of my real goat. I'm gonna go A-Ron. So I'm going Steelers too. Our London game, DT. We got the Rams versus Jaguars. Who you got?
I think this is going to be a good game. I'll definitely get up early to watch this one. I'm interested to see how Lloyd responds to McVay's offense. If they're able to scheme him out of the game, get him out of position, out of his gaps, out of his zones, and all those different types of things. Puka Nacua is on his villain arc. He's looking fantastic. He's a monster on the sideline. His girl divorced him or was trying to divorce him, whatever. But hey, he's looking pretty good. He's humming out there. And so with that being said, let me take the Rams to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I like everything you said, DT, but I got to go with Sunshine. I got to go with Travis. I got to go with Travis. Both Travises. I'm sorry. I got to go with Travis Etienne and Travis Hunter. I got to go with, I feel like Sunshine going to set it off. He got to, I don't know. I just feel like the Jags can do it. It's gonna be a bounce back week for them. I know they had a tough week last week, but I just feel like it's gonna be a bounce back week for them. And I feel like they're legit if Trevor Lawrence can actually keep it together. So give me the Jags. All right, we got Vikings Eagles, and I'm talking about at or in Minnesota, US Bank Stadium.
It's really hard. Today's Eagles don't really lose like 2 in a row, and the world will be on fire if the Eagles lose this game. And I think it is kind of a bit of a bad matchup for Jalen Hurts, just because I think it's Flores they have over there with Minnesota.
Yeah,
he's really good at disguising the looks and bringing, like, it's kind of that thing where the weakness for the Eagles, they're picking up, like Jalen Hurts recognizing the blitz and sending his offensive lines in the right direction and reading the defense. Like, all those different things that he struggles with is a strength for the Minnesota Vikings. The question will be, can Carson Wentz score enough points to beat the Eagles? It's not really a revenge game because that was a decade ago, it feels like. But I think that Minnesota can score enough and stop the Eagles enough to set their world on fire. Let me take the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, I'm gonna go opposite of you. I don't feel like the Eagles could even navigate life losing 3 in a row, especially after winning the Super Bowl and being so dominant over years. So I love Brian Flores. Don't like the Vikings. I don't think Carson Wentz can pull it out. So I'm gonna go Eagles. They can't lose 3 in a row. I don't see it. They can't. Next game we got DT. We got the Patriots Titans in Tennessee. Who you got?
Patriots. Y'all thought?
Without thought, Drake May. My boy doing his thing. He is not in the MVP conversation. For all the Patriots fans talking about Drake May in the MVP conversation, he is not. I love Drake May. Drake May go crazy. I was wrong on Drake May. DT was right on Drake May. But he is not in MVP conversations. Stop it, please. But Patriots over Titans for sure. Titans are first overall pick in this year for sure. Next game, DC, we got Panthers Jets at MetLife.
The Jets got to get their win at some point, and I think that you're not going for 200 on Quinnen Williams. That shit just not happening.
No,
that's not happening. So I think all this hoopla with I can't think of Buddy's name. What's Buddy's name?
Rico.
With all this hoopla with Rico Dowdle, I don't think that's going to be a thing. And Sauce Gardner's had a bit of a rough year. He's been getting cooked. But I think that if they let him travel with Teteroy McMillan, even though McMillan's not a deal breaker for Carolina, not being able to get the ball to him, if they let him travel with that, I think he can handle Teteroy McMillan, even in his struggling year. McMillan don't have the route running, he don't have a lot of things he needs to beat a stylistic corner like Sauce Gardner in terms of length and physicality. So I don't really like any of the other Carolina Panthers receivers. So with that in mind, I'm going to take the Jets to get their first win of the season against the Carolina Panthers at home.
I'm going Panthers. I'm going to go Bryce, have a struggle first half and go crazy in the second half. Taylor McMillan, if Sauce travels with him, going to be locked down. But Jimmy Horn, nice. Xavier Leggett going to get a little cheap touchdown. Rico Dowdle, he may not go for 200. But my boy going for about 110, 120. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Nah.
I'm going to go Carolina Panthers. I'm going to go Bryce and the boys. Next game, BT, we got the Dolphins in Cleveland. Struggle game. Turn off TV.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I say, give me the Dolphins just because they still have Tua. So quarterbacks win in the NFL.
I agree. Can I put a contingency on this game?
No, but go ahead. What contingency would you like for the record?
If Dylan Gabriel played the whole game, Dolphins. I feel like if it's close and my boy getting the game, a dub. So I'm gonna say the Dolphins right now, but don't say I told you so.
I should have said that for last week. The Eagles and Giants, because I was sitting on that fence about Eagles and Giants. I was sitting on that fence. I said if Neighbors plays, if Neighbors would have been in this game, I would take the Giants. They look what they did. They fucking bust their ass in New York.
I'm gonna just say the Dolphins. If the Dolphins are gonna win this game, but it's Shador time. It's Shador time, but Kevin Stefanski can't call the plays because he ain't checking down the ball, little boy. Next game we got the Saints Bears, and it's at Chicago Soldier Field.
The Bears.
Bears. That's how you feeling? I'm gonna go. Yeah. Damn, bro. Fuck the Bears, bro. Fuck them, bro. This shit got me stressing, bro. I don't even want them to win, bro. Give me the Bears, bro. I don't even want to play this no more. We got the Raiders and Chiefs, man, with Arrowhead, bro. Who we got, bro?
At Arrowhead, I'm going to take... Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. Let's not play games.
Jalen throwing 2 interceptions, Chiefs. Let's be real. Patty gonna continue to... I don't know if he's going to be leading rusher for the rest of the season, but he's going to be leading rusher after this game. I can tell you that much. Definitely give me the Chiefs. Chargers at Colts they're not in San Diego no more. Excuse me, in LA.
Another sneaky game for this week. Sneaky good game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take Herbert and the Chargers for this one. I feel like, again, quarterbacks win in the NFL, and Herbert's a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, even today with Daniel Jones on his hot streak. But more than that, I believe the Colts have some injuries on their defense still, and so Chargers are the healthier team. I like Derwin James. Let me take the Chargers to win this game.
Only because they're at home, I agree with you, the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers will be able to stop Indy, especially with Jonathan Taylor and all those wide receivers, and they all doing their thing. But like you said, the defense is the problem spot, and it's only because of the injury. So I'm gonna say SoFi Stadium. I'm gonna say Herbert pulls it out. Give me the Chargers as well. DT, we got the Giants at the Mile High. Broncos. Who you got?
I got Broncos in this one, and I don't think it's close. I think it's a bloodbath, Mile High. It's a bad day to be a Giant. Give me those Broncos by 14 or more.
My neck itching. Crack. Marshon's crackhead pick of the week. Give me the Giants. I'm going Giants.
Buddy. That's the real
Next game, DT. We got Packers. We got. You said what?
We need a sponsor for Crackhead Pick of the Week.
For crack? Send me your Pyrrhus head ass. No, do not send me no fucking crack, bro. I swear to goodness. We got Packers. We got Cardinals in Arizona. Who we got?
Packers, Cardinals in Arizona. I ain't gonna play with you. Let me do the Packers. It's not looking good.
I'm a homer.
For my Cardinals pick.
I'm a homer. Do as you will with that pick, but I'm a homer. Everybody know who I'm going with. Shout out Jordan Love. Shout out my boy Josh Jacobs. Shout out Romeo Dobbs for being the number one. Hopefully Christian Watson come back this year. Shout out boys. All right, Commanders at Cowboys in Arlington, Jerry World.
This is not a good football team. Dak is playing at an MVP level. George Pickens is playing out of his mind. A run game looks better than what was expected, but still the defense is asinine. They are off the ball by 10 yards on 3rd and 4 and 4th and 4. They're giving up the first down. They still can't stop the run, even though they traded for a guy supposed to be magic a silver bullet. Let me take the Washington Commanders to win this game.
I'm going Jerry World's finest. I'm going Cowboys. Shout out Dak. Shout
You
out
want to do another crackhead
NFL
pick of the
young
week?
boy. Oh, this is no crackhead though. Straight up. We seen how the Commanders played last game. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Did you see how the Cowboys played last game?
I'm gonna go Cowboys. I'm gonna go Cowboys and Jerry World. Next game, DT. We got the Falcons going to Frisco, or technically not Frisco. It's Levi Stadium in Silicon Valley, but San Francisco 49ers. We already know what it is. Who you got?
This is my underdog pick of the week. I am taking the Atlanta Falcons to beat those San Francisco 49ers. I think the injury to Fred Warner is going to be the nail in the coffin. And I ain't going to say that Bijan going to run wild, but Bijan is going to have one of those comparable days, effective day, 80-plus yards rushing and 20 to 40 yards receiving, 100-yard all-purpose day. I'll say that.
If this was Iraq, that's the horrible thing. But if this was Iraq, the 49ers defense got shot in both legs, and they still pulling themselves to the fight. So I'm going to go over a healthy Falcons. I'm going to go, but you don't know which Falcons you're going to get. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like you can get battle. We can get battle ready Rambo Falcons ready to take out everybody by themselves. But we can get Stormtrooper Falcons who can't aim for a damn, and every bullet's going over the person's head. So this is a tough one. I'm gonna go Niners. That battle, that fight is still in them. Shanahan's still in them. So I'm gonna go Niners. I don't think we're gonna see. It's just too wishy washy with Bijan and not Bijan. Bijan's not wishy washy. Penix. Let me address the elephant in the room. It's just too wishy washy with Penix. So I don't believe in Penix. I'm gonna go Niners. Bet. Last couple of games here, DC.
2 Monday night games again.
One Monday night game. Oh no, it's 2 Monday night games. Yeah. We got the Bucks. We got the Bucks versus Lions in Detroit.
I'm gonna give y'all another underdog pick of the week. Let me take them Buccaneers to win this game. Let me take them Buccaneers. I just feel like the Buccaneers are the more complete team with Todd Bowles, Baker Mayfield, what they're doing offensive and defensively. And the Lions, they're kind of licking their wounds a little bit. They just got their ass handed to them against the Chiefs. They're coming home for the game. They just still don't have the horses on defense. They play hard. They answer the call, but they just don't have the horses. And this is the game where you need the horses. You need the horses when you're playing Tampa Bay, and they don't have them. So I think that the Buccaneers will win this game.
I agree. DT, you hear that dog barking? Yeah,
I hear it.
D motherfucking Baker. Forget the Lions. Buccaneers. Even one ain't got no wide receivers. And Buka out. Or Ibuka out. Godwin out. They said that Mike Evans may be back, so that's good. Franklin. Not Frank. Is it Franklin? No, it's Tez Johnson. Give me TD Baker, bro. MVP. Stop playing with me. And last game, we got Texans in Seattle, 12th man. Who you got? Seahawks or Texans, DT?
This one, I am gonna take the Seahawks. I picked one too many underdogs. I'm gonna just go with the board and take the Seahawks to win this game. Two teams though that are kind of comparable. Offenses that might be a little bit suspect, but defenses that are fairly decent, fairly good. Seahawks are more than decent. But I think the Seahawks will win this game. I say they cover the spread at 3.5. They win by 7, actually.
Wow. I don't know about all that, but I will say this. With that 12th man and the Texans iffy offense, give me Seahawks. Just give me Seahawks.
All right. So that's all our topics. Those are our hitters. Those are our bombs. We addressed college football and the firing of James Franklin. We hammered the Cleveland Browns and they 50 years of ineptitude. We avoided talking about the sorry Dallas Cowboys. That's the show. We brought the house today. We absolutely brought the house today. So if you like this show, if you like what we building over here, what we need you to do, like, comment, and subscribe. And follow on our other channels. You know it's follow on TikTok. But over here on YouTube, we must get y'all to subscribe to our channel. We have 43 subscribers now. We're trying to get to 50. Get us to 50 by mid-season. That's 2 weeks from now. Help a brother out. Get us to 50 subscribers. And again, thank y'all for watching. Marshon, you got any final thoughts?
In the arms arms of an angel. With one subscription, you can provide for 2 former high school athletes who are trying to live their dream of the NFL through a podcast. For now, with just one subscription. Subscribe today.
And with that, we out. Y'all be blessed. I don't want to get disrespectful.
They better just start burning the page if you see his name. Why is it good for Dak, but it's not good for Justin Fields? Dak is a winner.
Cap. That's cap. Oh my God, bro. No, bro. I'm a Cowboy fan. I got Cowboy hats in the back. I got Cowboy t-shirts in the back. That's cap. And we not taking that.
Our back, Huddle Buddies. How y'all like that new name? Dak is a winner. Season-wise. In his season.
Season-wise.
Yeah.
Season.
Yeah.
And OBJ is back. Watch. Going deep. Jamar Chase. He's got it.